We had sailed up the Queensland coast as far as Lizard Island, so named by Captain Cook after the inhabitants he met. The diving was very interesting. We returned to Cairns and the yacht club to prepare for our departure from Australia on a 15-month cruise around the Southwest Pacific. Departing the 10th of September, 1976, 4 days Cairns to Samarai in Papua New Guinea. The lighthouse guided us along the Grafton Passage out through the reef. Fitzroy Island was the last we saw of Australia for 15 months. 4 days later, approaching Samarai Island. Sextant position calculations. No such thing as GPS in 1976. To anchor at tiny Samarai Island to clear customs. Until 1968, the administration centre for the province. Suddenly, a different world. Public toilets. Play canoes made from corrugated roofing iron. A traditional canoe with outrigger. Our friend David left us at Samarai on a government boat to Alotau to fly to Port Moresby, then Townsville. A short hop over to Quado and Rajaya Islands. Our first encounter of leftover wartime wreckage. An interesting use of PNG traditional thatch to clad the church. To Alotau, with an overnight in Tikopia Bay. In 1968, it became the main administration town for the province. David left us earlier to fly back from here to Australia. A patrol boat donated to PNG by Australia, with a PNG Navy deck crew. We were invited to dinner by the 3 Australian officers. We arrived on the first anniversary of PNG independence. So there were a lot of celebration events, including rugby. Even 50 years ago, PNG was a keen rugby nation. Alotau in Milne Bay was the scene of a major battle against Japanese forces. Australian forces won in September 1942, and it is acknowledged as the first land defeat of the Japanese in the whole of the Pacific War. Australian assembled Curtiss Kitty Hawks helped significantly. The runways were constructed from mast and mat, so planes didn't sink into mud. The Kitty Hawks were used against ground forces and naval supply vessels. The success stopped the Japanese from invading Port Moresby and Australia. The current memorial at Alotau, 167 Aussies killed, over 700 Japanese. To Sewa Bay on Normanby Island. Into the southern part of Sewa Bay. sailing in on the 22nd of September 1976 to a nice, protected anchorage. We explored the area for several days. The locals were keen to trade. We found bread was in demand as a trade item for batches in progress. We declined this trade offer. We sailed on through the passage between Normanby and Ferguson Islands. To Bedoya Catholic Mission. The priest invited us to lunch and told us about the Dai Dai thermal springs. Our trek to the hot springs. I was a bit dubious about our guide and his missing foot. Had he boiled it here at a past visit? From Bedoya, we threaded our way through islands and reefs to the Trobriands, stopping at Samarai Island along the way. We sailed into the main bay on Samarai Island past Pigeon Rock. The Samarai people were renowned clay pot makers, their main trade item. The pots fired in wood bonfires. We did trade a couple while there, not these. From Samarai, we sailed through to Kaibola village on Kiriwina in the Trobriand Islands. The anchorage, a short walk to Kaibola village. We arrived at the time of the Kaibola Osamoya dancing. In 1976, the Kaibola dancing was not for tourists. We were the only tourists there. It was part of their local customs and ran for a month or so. Perhaps a fertility ritual for the young people? A yam storage house, a sign of the community wealth. A trip by road to Loshuia, the main town on Kiriwina. Even today, not a large town. The primary teacher at Kaibola gave us a lift for the 15k to Loshuia Township. His children there. After school netball training. The children in Melanesia always keen to investigate new arrivals. After experiencing the Trobriands, it was time to head back to the mainland. Next, we stop at Tufi, where there is a big celebration for the visit of the Governor-General Sir John Guise.